A rainy Lumen Field in Seattle as we welcome you to NFL Live. That is exactly where we want to start because Lindsey Theory is on site in Seattle for us. Lindsey, all eyes on Davante Adams and that hamstring injury. What's the latest?
Graz, Davante Adams is officially doubtful for tonight's game with that hamstring issue. Sean McVay, though, saying earlier this week they're going to take it right up until game time. One person I spoke with, though, really laid it all out. The Rams want to win the division. They want to earn that top seed in the NFC. Obviously, Davante Adams would be able to help them do that. That being said, they also really want Davante Adams to be healthy for a deep playoff run. So those are some of the decisions some of the factors going into the decision. Also, tonight, they have to factor in the field here at Lumen Field because it has been a steady rain all morning. It is expected to continue up until kickoff, perhaps through kickoff, and that weather really could be a factor, not only in that, but in the Rams' game plan as well as the Seahawks. I asked Matthew Stafford how the rain can affect him, and he goes, well, how granular do you want me to get? Bottom line, it causes the ball to be slippery. It causes the field to be slippery. It could really affect whether they're throwing the ball or running it, and it's really the same thing for the Seahawks. Sam Darnold, along with the Rams, both of those teams talking about how they didn't get outside this week because of the short week, only walkthroughs. So for the Seahawks, they're also talking about how the weather could affect them. Mike McDonald, though, really harping on the wind because on top of the rain, gusting winds up to 33 miles per hour could really affect how both teams call this game. Graz?
That sounds fantastic, Lindsey, and you didn't even notice you were about to get run over by a forklift. The entire desk was very, very concerned about you.
I knew they were back there. I just powered through.
Keep it locked on ESPN throughout the day. Lindsey will have the latest on Davante Adams and everything else with that game. Rain, not a big deal for Sam Darnold. He's 3-0 when it's raining at kickoff. And this year he started out pretty strong, but things took a turn for the worse in that first matchup against the Rams back in Week 11 when he threw 4 interceptions. Darnold throwing only about his third as many touchdowns per interception since then, and his QBR is down into the 30s. So, here with Dan Orlovsky and Peter Schrager and Jason McCourty on NFL Live. I'm Dan Graziano in for Laura Rutledge. Dan, what is going on with Sam Darnold?
Yeah, the main thing is Sam's not listening to his feet. That was something that he really mastered. His feet would tell him where and when to throw the football. And for everyone tonight, just pay attention to when he moves his feet, does he move his head as well? So, number one, empty, motion over, here comes pressure. The Rams are going to bring this blitz tonight. The offensive linemen are going towards the bottom of the screen. They've got one more. Sam's set up to throw the ball outside, but for some reason he doesn't. He gets stuck on that inside receiver. Just throw the ball to the flat. Now, it ends up being a 9-yard gain that you're not going to survive against this defense that way. Second thing, this is what I'm talking about paying attention to tonight, these snug sets. He is going to set to the bottom of the screen, all right? He wants to go 1-2. 1 and 2 are not open. So as Sam works to the top of your screen, his feet are moving to the receiver, but his head isn't. And that's why his feet are all over the place. That's late. That's why that ball is bang, bang, almost an interception. Motion across. This is 3rd and 4. The Rams will, at one point tonight, all-out pressure him. But he's so concerned right now with trying to be perfect almost that he's throwing to guys that are covered. Take the deep shot there. And so I think that's something directly to pay attention to tonight is when you're seeing Sam Darnold in the pocket and you watch him move, is he moving to the next option or is he moving and still hanging on that initial option? If he is, that's trouble for Seattle.
I love that you talked about him hanging on that initial option because you watch Sam Darnold now last year going against this Rams defense with Shula calling as their defensive coordinator, and he gives them issues of taking away the throws that Darnold wants to throw. He likes to throw in between those numbers. So taking away the middle of the field, this was in their first matchup. We're coming from the other side of the field where he doesn't see this safety, but dropping down into the middle, taking this throw away, and having vision on the quarterback. That has been the main thing. Guys reading the quarterback. You go back to a year ago in the wild card division, the safety curl. He drops down. Vision on Darnold. He sees the first over route coming. Goes to jump that. Continues to keep vision as he goes, like Dan said, with his feet to that next option, able to speed turn and get within that window. Shula uses so many different ways to protect the middle of the field. In cover 2, he has the middle linebacker running down the middle of the field. He's dropping the safety in cover 4 or in a one robber, getting all the way into it. But all of those different defenses they run, you're seeing people in the middle of the field on defense reading the eyes of Sam Darnold.
Before you jump in, I was just thinking about watching those 2 tapes. It felt like every leverage was outside.
Outside, yes. Yes.
Funneling those guys into the middle of the
where
field,
you have your help.
but also your help.
Yes.
Dan, I think you'd appreciate this. You know, we go into these games and it's like we talk about narratives. And are these narratives real or are they not real? With Sam Darnold, it's can he win the big one? And until you actually win a big one, it will cast a shadow over you the entire time you're going into the week of a big game. I look at Tua, can't win in cold weather. Well, he lost again in cold weather. Guess what? The next time Tua plays in cold weather, we're going to talk about whether Tua can win in cold weather.
Yeah.
I go back to a quarterback, 2020, whose entire career was marked by could he win the big game? Kirk Cousins.
Sure.
Kirk Cousins goes into New Orleans for a wild card round playoff game after not winning any primetime games his entire career. And all we heard about the week leading up was Cousins can't win the big one, can't win. He beat the Saints in New Orleans. And then from that point over, there really wasn't any fangs to that talking point. We don't do it anymore. So is this a playoff game? No. But it's a huge game for Sam Darnold. You know what? Put an end to the narrative. Don't have to win the game. Don't have to throw for 400 yards. Play decently. The last 2 times he has played the Rams was earlier in the season where he threw 4 picks and last year in that playoff game where he was sacked 9 times and was awful. Play decent tonight. I don't want to hear about the weather. Sam Darnold, shut up the narrative.
The last 2 times he's played the Rams, his QBR versus a 4-man rush is 1.
Unbelievable. I was at that game in New Orleans. Kirk Cousins was pretty fired up afterwards to talk about how he was beating the allegations. We'll see if Sam Darnold can start doing that tonight. Want to bring in our Adam Schefter now. Adam, Puka Nacua, the other Rams star wide receiver, besides Davante Adams, has been making news this week for non-football reasons. What can you tell us about that?
Well, he's had quite a week. He issued an apology this afternoon, Dan, in which basically he celebrated a touchdown dance on a live stream this week and performed an anti-Semitic dance. Now, he had to apologize, did that, said he didn't realize what he was doing, that there's no place for this in sports. The NFL came out to condemn it on the same live stream. He came out and criticized officials and said they make calls just to be on television. And so all that is going on with Puka Nacua this week at a time where the Rams are getting ready for their biggest game of the season, a game that has ramifications for who wins the NFC West and gets the top seed in the NFC. And here is Puka Nacua, mired in controversy, apologizing hours before they play that game tonight for appearing on a live stream in a week like this. Not exactly the way you want to go into a big game, but that's where Puka is. As one person said to me today, Puka is so naive about these things, and his naivete is one of the reasons that people love him so much, because he's so oblivious and so happy, but he's also unaware sometimes of the things that he's doing.
Yeah, we'll see if that affects anything going forward tonight. Obviously, a lot going on with the Rams this week on and off the football field. Much more from Adam later.